What up, though? It's Math Guy Steve. All right, so today we're continuing our MGS Calculus Camp. In the last lesson, we learned some basic derivative rules, okay? We talked about the power rule, the constant rule, the constant multiple rule, the sum and difference rule. Today we're going to put those rules together and focus on polynomial functions. Polynomial is just a function made of powers of x that we're either adding or subtracting. So something like x cubed minus 4x plus 1, or 6x to the fifth minus 2x plus 7. The good news is this. For polynomial derivatives, we usually just go term by term. So here's our big idea for today. Take the derivative one term at a time, then simplify. That's it. All right, let's try it. All right, so before we start, let's remind ourselves of our rules that we know so far. For the power rule, we know, okay, that's x to a power. So to find the derivative, we take that power, bring it down in front, then subtract 1 from the power. For the constant rule, we know the derivative of a constant is 0. For the constant multiple rule, we know that if there's a number already in front, then when we bring that power down in front, just multiply that power by the number that's in front. And still, of course, subtract 1 from the power. And then for our sum and difference rules, we're saying that, okay, if it's a sum or difference of these powers of x, then we can just do them individually, one by one, term by term, or basically just do each piece separately. So that's what we're going to practice today, okay? Let's try it. All right, so the first one says, find the derivative of f of x equals x to the fifth minus 3x squared plus 7. So to find this f prime of x, in other words, the derivative of f with respect to x, then how we do that is by, well, again, bring that power down in front, subtract 1 from the power. Got it. So this becomes x to the fourth, and we can do each term separately. So here, same thing, minus, and then now bring that power down in front. There's a number in front, so just multiply it. 2 times 3, so 6, and then x to the, subtract 1 from the power, to the 1, and then here we know the derivative of a constant is just 0. So our simplified version would be f prime of x equals x to the fourth minus 6x. Okay, let's try number 2. This one says find the derivative of f of x equals 4x cubed plus 2x squared minus x plus 10. So again, f prime of x, the derivative of f with respect to x would be, if I bring that power down in front, okay, that would be, there's a number in front already of 4, so 3 times 4, we get 12, x to the, and then subtract 1 from the power, so x to the second, okay, plus, and now we'll do the same thing here, bring that 2 down in front, got it, so 2 times the 2 that's already there, so we get 4x, and then subtract 1 from the power, to the 1 power, got it, okay, this is minus, and then there's an x to the 1, so we bring that 1 down in front. Now there's nothing in front to multiply it by, so we just write negative 1, and then this becomes x to the, subtracting 1 from that power, we get x to the 0, and again, with constants, the derivative of a constant with respect to x, if there's no x's involved there, then we know that's just 0. So our simplified version would be f prime of x is 12x squared plus 4x minus, and then remember x to the 0 is just 1, right? So minus 1. All right, number 3, let's see. Well, this one says find the derivative of f of x equals negative 2x to the fourth plus 5x cubed minus 6x plus 8. Okay, so f prime of x would be, again, take that power down in front. All right, so 4 times the negative 2 that's there, that gives us negative 8 x to the, and then subtract 1 from the power, to the third. Okay, here, same thing, plus, then bring that 3 down in front. Got it. 3 times 5 is 15. X to the, subtract 1 from the power, we get 2. Okay. Same thing here. This is x to the 1, right? So bring that 1 down in front. So we get minus, and then 1 times 6 is to the, subtracting 1 from the power, we get 0. And then the derivative of a constant is just 0. Okay, so the simplified version would be f prime of x is negative 8x cubed plus 15x squared, and then just minus 6. Again, x to the 0 is 1. Let's try number 4. Now this one changes up a bit, right? It says find f prime of 2 if f of x equals x cubed minus 4x plus 1. So how we're going to do that is first find f prime of x, find the derivative of f with respect to x, then plug in 2 at the end, plug in 2 afterwards, okay? So here f prime of x, okay, so the derivative of f with respect to x is, again, bring that power down in front, okay? So x to the, subtract 1 from the power, x to the second, then minus, okay, same thing here, bring that 1 down in front, minus, okay, the 1 times the 4 that's there is x to the, subtracting 1 from the power, we get 0, and then the derivative of a constant is just 0. So this simplifies to prime of x is 3x squared minus 4. All right, but this one doesn't say just find f prime of x. It says find f prime of 2, meaning now take that derivative and plug 2 in, meaning f prime of 2 would mean just plug in 2 for every x. So that gives us what? 3 times 2 squared minus 4, which is 3 times 4. In other words, 12 minus 4, which is 8. Okay. So now what does that mean? Well, it means that at x equals 2, the slope of the tangent line is 8. In other words, the graph is growing at a rate of 8 at that x value 2. All right, number 5 here. Okay. This one says find f prime of -1 if f of x equals 2x cubed plus x squared minus 5. So let's do a similar thing, right? We're going to say, okay, let's first find f prime of x. In other words, okay, bring that 3 down in front, right? So 3 times the 2 that's there, we get x and then subtract 1 from the power. So squared, right? Okay. Same thing here. Plus, then bring the 2 down in front and subtract 1 from the power. So this becomes 2x to the 1, and then our derivative of our constant is just 0. So our simplified version would be f prime of x is 6x squared plus 2x. Okay. But again, this one doesn't just say find f prime of x, it says find f prime of -1. So let's plug in a -1. F prime of -1, meaning plug in -1 for every x. So that would give us 6 times -1 squared plus 2 times -1. Simplifying that, we get -1 squared is just 1. So 6 times 1, and then -1 times 2 is -2, so -2, which is 6 minus 2, so 4. All right, so f prime of -1 is 4, meaning at the x value -1, the graph is increasing at a rate of 4. In other words, the slope of the tangent line at the x value -1, the slope of that tangent line is 4. Let's try number 6. This one says find the slope of the tangent line to f of x equals x squared plus 3x at x equals 2. So again, that just means find the derivative and plug in 2. So similar to what we just did, just worded a little bit differently so we understand exactly what we're finding, right? So here, we first need to find, so if f of x equals x squared plus 3x, then let's first find f prime of x. So how we find that? Again, take that power down in front, subtract 1 from the power. So this becomes 2, then x to the, subtracting 1, we get 1. Okay. Plus, same thing here. Take that power down in front. It's x to the 1. So take that power down in front. There's a 3 already there. So 1 times 3 is 3. And then this becomes x to the, subtracting 1 from the power to the 0. Or the simplified version, f prime of x would give us 2x plus 3. Now, again, it doesn't just say find the slope of the tangent line. It's saying find the slope of the tangent line, our derivative, at x equals 2, meaning plug it in 2 for every x. So f prime of 2 would be 2 times 2 plus 3. So that's what? 4 plus 3. So 7. Okay. So f prime of 2 is 7, meaning the slope of our tangent line at the x value 2 is 7. Or in other words, at the x value 2, the graph is increasing at a rate of 7. So next we have is this, find the equation of the tangent line of f of x equals x squared plus 3x at x equals 2. And this one builds on the last problem. This one says find the equation of a tangent line of the function f of x equals x squared plus 3x at x equals 2. So remember, we're trying to find the equation of a line. Remember, the equation of a line, there's a few ways to state it or to note it, right? Okay, so one of the ways is y equals mx plus b, which most of us already know. We call that the slope-intercept form of a line. We'll try to get to this version. But another version is a point-slope form, right? Which is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So here's another version of the equation of a line, point-slope, meaning here's the slope, it's in, and then given some point x1, y1, we can find the equation here, right? So if I want to find the equation of the tangent line to f of x equals x squared plus 3x at x equals 2, then we say, well, first I got to find the slope and then find a point. Let's find the point first, okay? The point here would be, okay, well, I'm given the x value 2. So we know, okay, the x coordinate of that point would be 2. To find the y coordinate, we just plug it in, okay? Meaning f of 2. F of 2. That would be our y coordinate. Now, let's do that on the side really quickly. Of 2 is plugging in 2 for every x into the original function. So that's what? 2 squared plus 3 times 2, which is what? 4 plus 6, so 10. Got it, okay. So really, our point is 2, 10. All right, so that's the x1, y1. All right. Then we need a slope. Okay, so that's the point. We need a slope as well. To find the slope of the tangent line, we did that already. That was the derivative evaluated at that x value. Meaning our slope here, we just saw in the previous problem, was 7. So I got my point, I got a slope. Let's use that point slope form of the equation of a line. So that point slope form of the equation of a line says y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. All right. Which in this case would be y minus that 10 equals, and the m is 7 times x minus that 2. Okay, so we have the equation of our line. We usually put it in slope-intercept form, meaning get the y by itself and get rid of those parentheses. So here, if I get rid of these parentheses by distributing Across the parentheses, we get y minus 10 equals 7 times x is 7x. 7 times negative 2 is negative 14. And then now getting the y on the side by itself, adding 10 to both sides, we get y equals 7x. Adding 10, we get minus 4. And so there'll be the equation of my tangent line at the x value 2 for this function. So again, as a reminder, for a tangent line, the derivative gives us the slope, whereas the original function gives us the point that we need. Then use both the point and the slope to find the point-slope form. All right, last part, concept check. What does f prime of a represent? So if we see f prime of a, that means we're taking the derivative of the f function evaluated at the value a. In regular words, we're just saying it's the slope of the tangent line at x equals some number a. It also tells us the instantaneous rate of change of x at a. So again, if f prime of 2 equals 8, that doesn't mean that the function equals 8 at that x value of 2. It means the slope of the tangent line at the x value 2 is equal to 8. And again, that's an important difference, right? F of 2 is the y value of 2, whereas f prime of 2 would be the slope. All right, so here's the big takeaway for lesson 9. For polynomial derivatives, go term by term. Use that power rule on each power of x. And if you have a constant, then we know the derivative of a constant is 0. And then even after finding f prime of x, we can plug in some x value if that's given. That'll give us the slope at that specific point. And if we're asked for a tangent line, just remember, okay, plug in the x value into the original function. That gives you the point, the x and y combo, right? And then plug the x value into the derivative. That gives you the slope. And now we have the point, we have a slope. Then we can use the point-slope form. And even if we needed to, we can get to the slope-intercept form of the equation of that tangent line. All right, so that's it for lesson 9 of our MGS Calculus Camp. Today we practiced derivatives of the polynomial functions, right? We found derivative formulas, derivative values, tangent slopes, tangent lines. In the next lesson, we'll move on to what we call the product rule. Okay, stepping it up a bit. This is the rule we use when we're multiplying two different functions. But as always, keep practicing. Calculus gets a lot easier once you understand what the graph is doing. Always remember, math is everywhere. Have a good one.